Hello, my name is Sandeep Nupani and I am from Kpop University and my group is B. My student number is 224600095. Today I am going to talk about the origin of K-pop, a journey into the 1950s. So let's talk through the introduction part. The K-pop we know today as a global phenomenon begins its journey in the 1950s, a decade marked by great hardship and cultural transformation for South Korea. In the aftermath of the Korean War, the country was in ruins, and rebuilding efforts began both physically and emotionally. Music became an essential outlet for the emotion healing. During this period, American radio stations in Korea introduced Western musical influence, which gradually blended with traditional Korean music, creating a unique cultural fusion. This blending of Western style, particularly jazz, rock and pop, begins the uh, evolution of what we would eventually recognize as K-pop. Let's talk to the second part: historical and cultural background. The aftermath of the Korean War left South Korea struggling with not only physical destruction but also deep emotional scars. Amid this, the arrivals of US military personally brought a wave of Western influence, particularly in music. These soldiers, many of whom were stationed as US military bases across Korean, listened to jazz, country, and rock and roll, which has a significant impact on local musicians. Initially, many Korean musicians were exposed to these styles through informal performances at military camps, creating a cultural bridge between the East and the West. The fusion of Western music with traditional Korean instruments and melodies resulted in a fresh, dynamic music sense. So that's all about the historical and cultural background. Let's go through the role of American military bases. The US military presence in South Korea during the 1950s played a pivotal role in shaping the music sense. Military bases became performance hubs for Korean artists where they played for American soldiers and interacted with a few new form of entertainment culture. These early performances were crucial in the development of Korean popular music as they explored local musicians to a variety of Western styles, including big band, jazz, rock and roll, and folk. Over time, these performances allowed Korean artists to experiment with this sound while retaining a distinctly Korean flavor in their song. The experience on this base gave many Korean performers their first exposures to modern entertainment culture, setting the stage for their future careers. Let's go through the characteristics of the K-pop in the 1950s. The 1950s marked the beginning of a unique sound that would later evolve into K-pop. The music was characterized by the fusion of traditional Korean elements with Western influences. The use of electric guitar, saxophones, and drum kits were incorporated into many songs, creating sound that blended the emotion depth of Korean ballads with their upbeat rhythm of rock and roll and jazz. The lyrical themes often, often focused on heartbreak, love, and longing, reflecting the emotional struggle of a society recovering from the devastating impact of war. Mm, Early Korean pop music in the 1950s was essentially a blend of American music style with Korean language and cultural references, setting the foundation for future K-pop songs that would continue to merge international and local music, local elements. So let's talk about the emergence of ballads. During the 1950s, the ballads became the dominant genre in Korean pop music. Ballads provide a powerful emotional outlet for the both performance and the listener, resonating with a society still mourning the devastation of war. These songs often dealt with the themes of heartbreak, longing, and nostalgia, universal emotion that transcended uh, transcend, transcended culture. The slower tempo of ballad allowed singers to showcase their vocal range and emotional delivery, which became central to Korean pop music identity. The ballad genre continued to dominate for decades and from the emotion core of Korean popular music, influencing future K-pop idol and group. So that's all about the emergence of ballad. Let's talk about the prominent artists in the 1950s. In the 1950s, a few standout artists began to make their mark on Korean popular music, laying the groundwork for the idols of today. In, known as the Nat King Cole of Korea, became famous for his smooth voice and ability to connect emotionally with audience. His ballads, characterized by emotional depth and nostalgia, helped popularize the genre. Park Hyun was another pivotal figure of the time, known for her soulful voice and ballads that resonate deeply with listeners. Other artists like Lee Miza, although emerging slightly later, were also integral in shaping the sound of Korean music during this era. These performers bridges Western and Korean music style, influencing future generation of Korean musicians. Let's talk about the important songs. Several songs from the 1950s helped define the sounds of Korean popular music. Even in Silla Moon's Night, 1953, is a perfect example of the era ballad style, creating theme of longing and nostalgia for Korean past. Similarly, Park Hyun Rim's mm, ren- uh, rendition of Tears of Mokpo became a hit resonating with Korean who had been deeply affected by the war. These songs combine American-style melodies with Korean lyrics, often adapting popular Western tunes while staying true to the emotions and stories that resonated with local audience. These early hits were the foundation upon which the modern K-pop industry would eventually build. That's all about the important songs in the 1950s. Let's talk about the fashion and performance style. The performance style of the Korean musician in the 1950s began to evolve as they adopted more westernized aesthetics. Artists often wore Western style suit, dresses, and hairstyle, mimicking the stage of Hollywood and American musical acts. Their stage performance too began to reflect American pop performance with great emphasis on audience engaging and theatrically. This shift in performance style paved the way for modern K-pop idols, whose passion and energetic performance are central to their appeal. The 1950s marked the first step towards the idol culture and modern K-pop aesthetics. Let's talk about the influence on modern K-pop. The 1950s K-pop scene was the bedrock of the vibrant and global K-pop culture we know today. The fusion of Western influence with Korean tradition created a unique musician style that would continue to evolve. The emotion, storytelling through ballads, the blending of international music genre with local culture, and the foundation of ideal performance can all trace their origin back to the 1950s. Modern K-pop idols continue to blend Western music with Korean sensibilities, and the intensity that marked the ballads of the 1950s is still evident in the performance of today's artists. The groundwork laid during the era shaped the K-pop industry global success. Let's talk about the conclusion of this slide. Although the 1950s K-pop scene was vastly different from the colorful, highly energy performance of today's K-pop, the era played a crucial role in the shaping the genre future. The emotions, depth of the ballads, the blending of Western and Korean influences, and the early signs of idol culture laid the foundation for the global K-pop movement. The 1950s were a time of cultural innovation, emotional expression, and musical experimentation, marked the beginning of a genre that would later become a global phenomenon. That's all about the the K-pop in the 1950s. Thank you very much.